looking down. All around this empty town, we're searching for the lost and found. But you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars are even there. It's in the air, like a blazing flare. 'Cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you.
What is going on, United Speeds fam? So we have gotten a lot of messages, believe it or not, regarding the Volvo. You know, when people want to see how, you know, how it's going, what's happened to it, basically an update on the car. And honestly, we're all shocked that you guys actually, like, out of all the cars we reviewed, my Camaro, the Lamborghinis, the Rolls Royce and everything else, you guys are actually interested in the Volvo, which, I mean, I'm not hating at all. I mean, that's cool. So I love that. So we're gonna do basically a little review again, because I mean, if you guys go back to our old video, I'm sure you guys will see that was our first video we ever created. So obviously it's a little old and it's basically like a very amateurized video. I mean, don't get me wrong, we're still, you know, learning a lot of different unique processes and everything else, but we've gotten a lot better with our videos. So what I want to do is I sort of want to redo a review video of this car, as well as do an update on the car too. So, you know, that way, you know, we can answer all you guys' questions as well, and basically, you know, just give you guys fresh new content. So I mean, I still have the Volvo. I haven't traded in yet. I haven't sold it yet. This is, and for people that's, you know, new watching our channel, this is my daily driver 2010 Volvo S80 V8 with the executive package. So I mean, I do have, you know, the 4.4 liter Yamaha tuned V8. Believe it or not, this motor is actually the exact same motor that you guys find in the Noble M600. It just doesn't have the twin turbos on it, and that's the only difference about it, really. And obviously, you know, it being, you know, it's not tuned like the Volvo is, like the Noble is either, but it's the exact same motor, just minus the turbochargers. And the car, stock wise, produces about 311 horsepower and about 320 pound-feet of torque. However, a lot of people, when they first bought the car, when they you know, buy the car now, they actually get them dyno, and it's actually shooting up higher than that. So no one like really knows exactly how much the car itself makes. But like I said, it is my daily driver. So I mean, as of right now, the car has just about 170,000 miles on it. I bought it roughly about 3 years ago with 121,000 miles on it, I think. And so I mean, I drive this car everywhere I go. If the Camaro's down, this is the car I take. I just got back from Kentucky a few days ago, and this thing, like, literally, it had no problem whatsoever. Air conditioning still works. I have actually, believe it or not, excuse me, I haven't had a single problem with this car, minus the headlight bulb going out, which, I mean, a $20 headlight bulb, I mean, out of, you know, 3 years of ownership, having 170,000 miles on it, I mean, you can't really ask for better ownership service than that, to be honest with you. And also on top of that too, I mean, everybody thinks that, you know, owning a foreign car is very expensive and everything else. I've had less problems out of this than any of my American cars that I've had. I mean, I don't baby this car either all the time. I mean, every now and then, if I was gonna go for, you know, a nice little drive, a nice little cruise, I'll just cruise, you know, set my cruise control up at like 70 miles an hour, between 70 and 80, and just cruise. But at the same time too, like, if, you know, if I want to get on it, I'll top the car out the entire time too. That's not a problem whatsoever. And like I said, I haven't had a single problem out of this car. The car has done everything that I've asked of it too. I will admit though, in the city, the gas mileage could be a bit better, not gonna lie. I average right around the city about 14 miles a gallon, which is, you know, pretty bad, not gonna lie. But on the highway, I get right around 30, 31 miles a gallon if I'm just sitting my cruise control up about 70 miles an hour and just cruising. But like I said, it's literally like, you cannot ask for a better car. Like, I haven't had a single problem out of it yet. I do need to eventually do my 175,000 mile service on it. I haven't done it yet. Obviously, I haven't hit 175,000 miles on it at all. But the services from Volvo itself, from Volvo dealership itself, are pretty expensive. So I probably will, get some friends and just do it myself, which obviously we'll do a video on as well too. But usually that just includes, oil change, replacing all the filters, replacing the serpentine belt, maybe replacing a couple of the pulleys as well. I will say this though, I do want to, so I don't know if a lot of you guys know this about the S80 V8s, but the motor it's not making a ton of power. However, the transmission itself is basically maxed out from Volvo. So a lot of times the problem that people have are the valve bodies on the transmission itself that will tend to go out. And actually it won't really, the transmission won't stop shifting. However, downshift wise, you'll usually have a very hard downshift, and I just want to replace that just because, for peace of mind really, and plus, if I'm gonna be doing that big of a service anyway on it, I just want to get everything done at once, to be honest with you. And plus, the actual valve body itself isn't really that expensive. If you go through a Volvo dealership, that's when you're starting to pay, $4,000 or $5,000 to replace a valve body. But really, you could do yourself in about a day and a half and be done with it. And a lot of times people don't even need to pull out the transmission to replace it. I guess somebody on one of the Volvo forums designed some sort of tool and also help people get through the process of replacing the valve body itself. And so basically it's a pretty simple replacement really. But like I said, besides that, there's no problem with the car whatsoever. The GPS monitor that pops out of the dashboard still works perfectly fine. I don't have any check engine lights or anything else on. The only light I have right now is a gas light, but I haven't had time to fill the car yet. But besides that, that's really the only problem that I have with it. It's not a problem at all either. But yeah, like I said, it's literally like you can't hate the car whatsoever. I'm 6'4" also, and I can fit in the back seat really well. Like I said, I do have the executive package. So with that being said, from the back seat, I can actually move the front passenger seat up from the back seat itself. And on top of that too, I do have the massaging front seats, heated and cooled front seats, heated rear seats also. I do have the refrigerator in the armrest. So with that being said, the car didn't come with it originally. Actually, some of the executive package cars did come with it. However, this one unfortunately didn't. So I just went through Volvo and just ordered the parts itself, and we just installed it. I do sacrifice a little bit of trunk space, but I also don't really use my trunk as much as I probably should, to be honest with you. But like I said, besides that, it's literally just a great fun. The car is fun to drive. That V8, it's still like it'll get up and go. Like it's not a slouch whatsoever. 0 to 60 has happened right around the 6-second mark. So on my Camaro, I have a scanner. Not as a scanner, like a tune-ish thing for it, but I can actually see my acceleration 0 to 60, G-force, and everything else. So I actually put it up to this car, and I actually got 5.6 seconds 0 to 60 out of this, which is much better than the factory says. And also on top of that too, people on the forums are getting 5.5 to 5.8 seconds 0 to 60. So this is beyond like a fun car to drive. So a couple of gripes that I still have with it is, I like it, but I don't. Is the multi-spoke wheels on this car, it's just difficult to clean. And plus they're also white too, so it's difficult to clean and to keep clean. The brake dust is, there's literally, I can go from here to probably about a 10-mile drive, and there's so much brake dust on it that, it's basically no point in even trying to clean it at that point. But for the first few minutes, at least the car looks spectacular. And like I said, the way then. I wouldn't have bought the car if I didn't like it, obviously. Believe it or not, the reason why I bought the car is because I had the Camaro and I was dating the Camaro through the winter. I live in Ohio, in Columbus, Ohio, and we had a really bad snowstorm, and my job at the time was about 5 minutes from my house. So I ended up driving the Camaro, and we had bad snow. However, that was the night before, so there is still some snow on the ground, but not as much. Maybe a half an inch or so, maybe at the most 3/4 of an inch. And I actually got stuck in a half inch of snow, which isn't a lot for us whatsoever. And so I was like, okay, well, let me go just take a look at some cars. So believe it or not, this car was actually at Easton Mercedes. And I went to go take a look at it. One of my now ex-friends convinced me to go, convinced me to look at Volvos. at the time, and I'll admit, as far as, and I'm sure a lot of you will too, people thought, and I did too, that Volvos were, you know, old person car. Nobody buys Volvos besides, you know, 80-year-old grandmas, you know, beige seats, you know, slow, built like a tank though, but, you know, not really a fun car to drive. So I actually went and just drove it. I needed to get somewhere. I couldn't take my car out. So I actually had a friend drop me off. This is, you know, test drive it to where I needed to go. So the problem with that was when I had it, it started snowing and it was a pretty bad snowstorm. So I was like, okay, well let's go down the highway here in a bad snowstorm and see what the all-wheel drive system can do. So I just started going and I started passing people and I was like, okay, you know what this is? I mean, right now we're in like by about 3.5, 4 inches of snow, like deep slush, snow, ice, and everything else. I started passing people, and again, I do give props to the tires. I do have the Michelin Pilot AS3 tires on it as well too, so I will tell you that also. But I started passing people, and at one point, I wasn't paying attention to my speedometer at all. I was doing 70 while everybody else was doing about 30, 40 miles an hour. Like, oh, okay, all right, this is really cool. And so I had it another day also, and that's when the snow started dry up a little bit too. So I was like, okay, well, I mean, it does have a V8. Let's check it out and see what it can do. So, if you guys are familiar with Pickerington, Ohio, that's where I live at, and we have a road. It's called, well, we all call it 256. So I was on light 256 right at the stoplight. I was the first one there, and I was like, okay, well, let's see what this thing can do. So I just floored it and just went for it. I was like, and honestly, the car surprised me. And a lot of people have asked me too, you know, people that wanted to buy this car or other S80 V8s out there, how does the car drive? And, you know, is it actually exciting to drive? Because, you know, obviously Volvo has a reputation of not being exciting. And so I was like, honestly, it will surprise you. It's literally, for the money that you pay for it, I can't think of a better car that's as reliable as this. And also, I mean, as fun to drive as this is too, to where you can put your entire family in the back seat. You have all the comfortability and luxuries of a newer a luxury car as well too, for less than $10,000. And now you can pick these up for about $5,000, $6,000 now too. So I mean, I can't think of any other car out there you get this kind of performance, this kind of luxury for that price, unless you go up to like a super, like extremely high mileage, like older S-Class. So that's one thing that really set me off with it also. And so like I said, I'm honestly very happy that I bought this car. My mom wasn't so happy because at the time, I already had the Camaro, and I actually had another car as well too then. So I basically had 3 cars sitting in her driveway. So she wasn't very happy about the car, but I mean, over time she grew into loving the car, and now she actually wants to buy a Volvo XC90 Executive, not the Executive, I'm sorry, the Excellence. And so I sort of, you know, made Volvo grow on her a lot too. So she loves Volvo also. So I mean, it's literally like once you get into the car, honestly, you're gonna love it. Like I said, I honestly thought about buying a 2015 Audi A8L with the 4.0 turbo, and I looked into a lot of the problems that the car has. One of the things that car has is the turbo oil sheet filter. I can't remember what it's called, but that's one of the problems that the car has. I'm like, okay, well, Volvo doesn't have this problem at all, so that's why I'm like, okay, I haven't had a single problem with the car, so let's just get the car and let's see if we can get the car to 1,000,000 miles really. So eventually I do want to twin turbo the car just to see, you know, what it can really do, and go out also and get a built transmission for it that's still, you know, comfortable to drive. It doesn't, you know, drive like a drag racing car, but it will be able to handle about 500, 600 horsepower, which isn't really that difficult at all. So like I said, I really want to eventually push this car to some limit to see what it can do. But like I said, so far it's sitting at 170,000 miles. I have absolutely no problem whatsoever. The car is fun to drive, reliable as all as can be. And I mean, I shocked a lot of my friends with it too. So I mean, it's honestly one of those cars that, like I said, once you drive it, you will probably honestly fall in love with it. But yeah, guys, I hope you like this mini, you know, little review / update on the Volvo. Like I said, eventually I will be doing a big service on the car. Like I said, I do want to, you know, I do want to get this thing to a much higher mileage than what it's at right now. So like I said, I'm gonna be doing that valve body, replacing all the pulleys, the belt, oil change, obviously, replacing all of the I'm doing a complete fluid flush on it, from the differentials to the transmission, everything. So like I said, obviously we'll do a video on that when we do it and everything else. But like I said, I hope you guys did enjoy, you know, this little like review / update on the car, because a lot of you guys have asked for updates on the car. But yeah, and it's also too, we finally launched our merchandise. So if you guys want to cop some of the hottest merch out there, let us know. We're getting it already on our website right now. So here pretty soon our website will be up and running, so you guys can actually go to our website, check out all of our merch. We'll be having sunglasses, hats, hoodies, t-shirts, basically just about anything you guys want. Phone cases also. So let us know. And we're also doing a lot of custom merch as well too. So we'll definitely let you guys know when that's up and ready to go. But make sure to smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and join the United Speed fam. And we look forward to seeing you guys next time. We love you guys. Peace. Right now, as you guys can see, my friend Robert right there got his gorgeous Camaro. My mom hates my Camaro. Ow! Stop! Man, I'm about to knock you out, boy.
So thanks everyone, we appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, and hit that bell for notifications. Yep. We appreciate you all, we love you all. From the Evolution family, we'll see you guys soon.
Yep.
Peace.